Well, for those of you following the Titan Submersible story, I'm sure you all have heard that nobody survived. Condolences to the family and friends of those who were on that submersible. So if you have seen any photos circulating of the debris up to this point, I'm just going to let you know that those are fake. They are AI generated images, especially the ones with the shoes. It's said that they didn't have any shoes on, especially the ones with the shoes that look like they're from the early 1900s. Come on, guys, do better. According to one Navy spokesperson, an underwater surveillance system that's been used by the Navy for decades to detect the enemy in our waters is believed to have picked up the sound of the Titan submersible imploding the same morning it made its descent. According to the naval expert, that system is likely the undersea hydrophones of the integrated undersea surveillance system used by the Navy to monitor our waters. This defense system was established namely for Russia and, of course, is still being used to this day. It can hear the most finite sounds underwater and for very long distances. So just as I said in my last video, y'all, I hate to say it, but they've known since the first day what happened to the sub. I know they didn't want to give up hope, and I can appreciate that, but they knew instantly. Regardless of this outcome, I still have a lot of questions, like what caused the catastrophic failure? Where did the failure occur? I mean, why did it implode? I know and I understand the deeper you go, the more pressure that is on the sub, but it seems odd that it imploded almost exactly at depth. Why didn't they see any signs earlier? And could something else have caused this implosion? In my previous video, you heard me say they had 3 previous tours before this one and had no issues. And obviously, those 3 tours could have led to a weaker submersible, yes, but could there be something more to the story? Where's the debris? I want to see some debris. I know it imploded, but that doesn't mean that it's just rubbish and dust. You know, it has to be some tangible pieces of this sub still intact. As for the people on board, to put it in perspective, the pressure on this sub at those depths per square inch is 4,000 pounds. So just immense pressure was on this sub at the time. This means that even the most finite of a pinhole would lead to its implosion. It's not going to be like the movies when it implodes. There's not going to be a bunch of water rushing on board. Basically, the water surrounding the sub would, if there was just a hairline of a pinhole, would lead to the water basically pushing the oxygen out of the sub, collapsing it. Virtually the weight of the ocean water surrounding it at the time, it would be pushed out of the sub immediately and it would crush like a pop can. And as far as the crew, they probably really wouldn't feel much. It would be immediate. They would have no clue what was happening. They wouldn't even have time to contemplate or think about what was taking place. So as far as that goes, they didn't necessarily suffer. Again, though, I still have some questions. I've heard and read that there was a point of rapid descent by the sub. And I'm not saying that it was a megalodon or anything like that, but, you know, there is a possibility of something maybe biting the sub or something causing these hairline cracks or this air to begin leaking and then catastrophic failure taking place thereafter. I don't know about you, but the looks of that sub could easily, for a large predator, be mistaken for another fish. Again, I'm not trying to push the megalodon narrative or some kind of outlandish narrative at all. I just think we shouldn't rule out all possibilities. And until I see some debris or something official from this, I'm going to be skeptic, period. It's what we do on Night God 333, Secrets Revealed. We push the envelope and we want to see answers before we rule out anything. I'm sure here in the next couple days we will get more answers. I'm honestly relieved that it's finally over. We have a conclusion to this horrible story. My final thoughts are, shame on OceanGate and their CEO. Nobody should have allowed this to take place. This shouldn't have been happening at all, really, in the first place, especially in a machine that has arguably more technology than a spacecraft. And they're also exploring a place that's less known than space itself. Where do we draw the line here? Civilians shouldn't be allowed to even go or embark on such journeys. A TV screen's good enough. Why do you gotta push the envelope and try and push the limits? OceanGate should be sued and dismantled for everything they have. It's really their fault in the big picture. I hope their families get some justice, and I hope they find peace, and it's gonna be a while before they heal from this. They'll never be the same. It will forever change the people close to those on board the ship. And just remember, Mother Nature, she will humble us and continue to for the rest of humanity's existence. So don't ever underestimate her. And some things are just better left alone. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. As I said, I'm glad that it has come to a conclusion. Not the conclusion that we wanted, but it is over. And hopefully, again, their families in due time find peace. More stories coming soon, y'all. I got a good one on deck, and I cannot wait to tell it to you. And it's coming up tomorrow. Stay in the love, stay in the light. Be kind to others always, and manifest greatness. I am out.